Let me show you how the cost of living abroad on the US dollar can actually have a positive impact and how making less here is actually more. Hi everyone, my name is Leah. Welcome to my channel. If you're interested in what life looks like living and working abroad, this channel is for you. For many Americans, the rising cost of living makes financial comfort literally out of reach. Many people are placed in positions to prioritize the most basic of necessities. If you're interested in traveling but you just cannot fathom how entry wages would support a sustainable lifestyle abroad, this video is for you. To better understand the potential financial benefits of living abroad, we are going to be comparing the cost of living in 3 countries: the US, Taiwan, and Korea. To present an accurate picture, we are going to look at the net salaries for entry-level ESL teachers in Taiwan and Korea and the average salary in Washington State in America. Now, why Washington State? Because it's my home. It's where I'm from. For reference, we're using the average working wage in Washington after taxes. A significant portions of expenses for most individuals are dedicated to housing, food, healthcare, and transportation, so that's what we're gonna discuss. On average, renting a 1-bedroom apartment in Washington is around $1,850 a month, which can eat up a significant chunk of your income. In various cities in South Korea and Taiwan, you can find similar accommodations for about half that price and even less in some areas. So for example, my small studio apartment in Taiwan costs about $300 US, but you know what's even better than that? Free. In Korea, my apartment was free with my contract. Both of your Korea and Taiwanese apartments will come with basic amenities like a bed and a couch, so the out-of-pocket costs for setup are even less. Additionally, if you do opt out of the apartment provided, because maybe it's not your taste, maybe you want to live in a different part of the city, oftentimes living stipends can be offered to you instead. This means that your housing budget can stretch even further outside of the US. Next are utility bills. Utility bills play a huge role in the overall cost of living. In the US, my monthly electric bill ran about $250 a month, and of course that varies depending on the season and the weather. In Korea and Taiwan, I pay about 100 USD, but the prices are rising as the summer temperatures have risen in Taiwan and Korea over the last few years. My water bill is about $75 in the US. In Korea, I paid about $50 a month, and in Taiwan, I pay about $7 a month. That's 7, not 7. I paid about $14 a month for a 10-gallon pickup of my trash. And in Korea and Taiwan, these services are free. Groceries also add up, especially if you prefer organic and specialty items. In Korea and Taiwan, street food and local markets offer delicious meals at a fraction of the cost. Plus, grocery prices for fresh produce and everyday essentials are generally lower, allowing you to enjoy really good quality food without having to break the bank. While the average cost in Washington for a single person is about $400, groceries are ironically my biggest expense living abroad. I spend about $200 a month in Korea, which is actually pretty high because I ate out all the time, at least 2 to 3 times a week. It would actually been cheaper for me to shop at the market in Korea and cook at home. In Taiwan, I spend about $300 a month, and crazy enough, in Taiwan, it's the opposite. I cook a lot at home, but it is much cheaper to eat out than it is to cook at home. My cell phone bill roughly runs about $20 a month in Korea and Taiwan, and that's for unlimited everything. And I think in America, when I go home, I pay about $50 a month. The internet in Korea and Taiwan runs me about $20 a month, and I think about $65 in the US. However, it is important to note that the US does have an advantage in terms of internet speed and dependability, especially if you are doing like online teaching. I have not subscribed to any cable services since living abroad. I just use Netflix, and that's about $22 a month. And I think Comcast has a package of like $50 or $75 a month. Let's move on to the second biggest concern, which is health coverage. In the US, healthcare costs are astronomical due to it being run as a business rather than a service for the people. Medical costs and health insurance premiums can be exorbitant, particularly for those without employer-provided coverage. I personally could not find any dedicated research about the average healthcare expenses because it varies so much. So what I did was I asked some of my friends in the US about their health coverage payment. On average, they pay about $485 a month, and that's taking into account those who have to pay out of pocket because their jobs will not give them a full 40 hours so that they don't have to cover insurance. and those with full-time jobs with insurance policy. In Taiwan, I pay $114 a month for universal health care, while in Korea, the average cost is around $80 per month. But this cost is also reduced in Korea by 50% if you are under a local employment contract. The employer covers 50% of the employee's health care, and a 5% deduction comes from the salary to fund the health insurance contributions. Moving on to transportation. Public transportation expenses vary widely across these three countries. In the US, owning a car is often a necessity, but can be costly when you factor in insurance, maintenance, and gas. In Washington, the average car note is $250 per month, and full coverage insurance starts at about $150 per month. Additionally, of course, there's costs like gas, registration, oil changes, upkeep, and that culminated altogether runs about $535 per month. In Taiwan, I do own a motorcycle in addition to using the public transportation, which costs me about $100 per month. This includes the expenses for gas, oil changes, and basic upkeep. In South Korea and Taiwan, efficient and affordable subway systems and bus systems make getting around so convenient and so economical that there is no need for ownership for a car and the associated expenses. Buses and trains are the easiest way to navigate Korea and Taiwan without having to own a car. Let's compare the three bus fares. Bus fares in America range from $250 to $425 per ride. The cheapest bus fare for an adult is approximately 900 KRW, which is about 65 cents per trip, and up to 3,000 KRW, which is about $2.17 per trip. In Taiwan, the basic bus fares run 18 NT, which is about 55 cents per ride, with the first 5 miles of any trip being free. It is important to mention that the bus pass cost in Taiwan also covers the train, the local trains. However, this average does not include the high-speed rail. I think the last bill that I need to cover is my credit card, and that ran me about $25. Same payment in all three countries. Now, this is a basic summary comparing the cost of living for one individual person. And look at this, you guys. Look at how much money you're saving despite making less, simply because you live abroad. Leave me a comment and tell me where you would allocate this extra money. Maybe your current job has a 401k that will allow you to make a larger contribution. Would you pay down your student loans or your credit card debt? What would it feel like to build that emergency fund? I'm sure, as all of us do, there are bills that are really unique to your life. Check this out. Daycare really should be its own category, but since we're talking about individual people, I decided to leave it there. But let me tell you about daycare. The average cost of daycare in Washington State is about $1,050 a month. But in Korea and Taiwan, public schooling starts at the age of 3. And this will be adjusted to the age of 2 in Taiwan come 2025. That is crazy to me when I think about how much money I paid for daycare in the States. Another thing, what about outside leisure activities that literally have an impact on your physical and mental health? What's the price of going to the movie? Do you need a gym membership? When's the last time you treated yourself to a vacation that was not in the confines of your own state? While each country does offer unique advantages and challenges, one thing that is clear is that the US dollar does tend to go further outside of the United States, allowing for a more affordable and sometimes a more enriching lifestyle abroad. Whether you are considering just a move abroad or if you're curious about the global economics, understanding these differences can help you make informed decisions about where to live and how to manage your finances. Where would you put your finances next? Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.